Okay, guys, I am at work, which is not actually technically work since I work from home, but on Tuesdays we have our interns. So I am at our building and I just wanted to take a second because you guys have seen me. You know that I'm a CEO, you know that I work in baseball. So I was just wanting to take a second to tell you a little bit about me. My name is Sherry. I am the CEO and founder of Kids on First Foundation. The reason I started this foundation was because there is a very huge gap in baseball for young Black Americans. And when I say that, if you look at MLB, the numbers for Black American baseball players is minimal, and it's gone down. It's gone down since 1980, since the Curt Flood Supreme Court decision. They ended up allowing people to sign into free agency. So Curt Flood is absolutely fantastic for doing that. However, when that happened, MLB started going to the islands and getting cheaper players. Were they better? Arguably. Are they always better? Not really. So as that happened, what we saw back here was the number of Black American players started to decline from 1980, and then probably 1998-99 is when we saw a huge shift. Now, that wasn't the only reason that I did this. The reason that I did this was because I'm a political scientist. I do not have my PhD, but that was my major, and I grew up in a very small town, comparatively. I'm from St. Cloud, Minnesota. I did not interact with a lot of minorities when I was younger. So when I moved out to Virginia and I was still working in politics and criminal justice, I finally started interacting with some people out on the East Coast, and it was so weird to see racism in front of me, live in 4K. I could not understand why we were actually still having issues of racism. Coming from somewhere, granted, yes, I didn't have any minorities to interact with, but it was beyond me that we even had this issue. And when I started seeing it play out in the courts, when I started seeing it play out with gerrymandering, when I started seeing it in real time, I knew that there was an issue and I wanted to be part of the solution. Unfortunately, governments and jobs don't like it when you cross the lines. And so by 2022, I was absolutely burnt out. I couldn't handle it anymore, and I decided that it was time to move on. But the question is, how? In 2024, I had done an interview with LaTroy Hawkins and Pat Mahomes Sr. about what it was like for them being in baseball as two young Black men, going to spring training, joining the team, all of it. They had come from predominantly Black areas. So when they got there, they had stated that it was very hard for them to identify in. Myself, as someone who did not grow up around minorities and just thinking baseball is baseball, I stated, well, but there's other people of color there. Full stop. Yes, there are. However, they're Dominican. They are Venezuelan. They are Cuban. They are Mexican. So it was an eye-opening experience for me. It was, oh my gosh, right. People of color, but not Black men. So it was that day that I learned that even though baseball is a universal language, there are still people who are left out in certain areas. So after a few months and after that interview, I decided to look around and see what was going on in the world of baseball, only to find out that travelball has taken over. There's barely any rec league, and within the inner cities, there is virtually no baseball. And why is this? Well, because things like travelball are $30 billion. Things like equipment are expensive for baseball. There's no access. There's no more fields. Kids aren't outside playing sandlot ball anymore. And even more, once they do have the opportunity, transportation is a huge issue. So I wanted to be a part of the solution. So welcome in Kids on First. We are huge on promoting diversity in baseball, but even more than that, we are actually focused on the athlete as a person. Student athlete, college placement, proper education, avenues and opportunities that they might not otherwise get. So a few things that we do: we are able to help them on the field. We are able to improve their game. We help them in college. We help them get to college. We work with HBCUs, MLB, the Players Alliance, our local minor league baseball team, so many partners just to create opportunities that they have something else to look forward to. I love my job. I love my mission.